So Bhagavad Gita chapter 2 verse number 12. Natvevaham jatu nasam natvam neme janadhipaha nachaiva na bhavishyamaha sarve vayam atah param. So this is a very very important verse, and Krishna is opening up a completely new concept here, and from one basic understanding he is going to prove a completely different thing which may shake you. And because many of us are in a illusion of this particular thing, what is called as Mayavad. So let us understand. So what is saying? Natvevaham jatunasam. So never there was a time when I did not exist. Okay, try to understand that and remember that. Never there was a time when I did not exist, nor you. That means never there was a time when you did not exist, nor all these kings. That means whoever is assembled here, there was never a time that they did not exist. Okay. Now, in future, so they are existing in present now, and in future, none of them will cease to be. That means they will continue to exist in the future also. So this brings in a very very interesting subject matter here. That so in the Kathopanishad, that is and the Svetasvatara Upanishad, it is said that the Lord is the creator and maintainer of all the living entities. So the different situations according to individuals, so whatever one is actually getting exposed to is basically the action and reaction that is coming forth because of whatever one did in the past. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Krishna, what is speaking now, by his plenary portion, so he is there within the hearts of each and every living entity. And so a person who can see this fact that the Lord is there within the heart of each and every living entity in the form of Paramatma, can actually attain peace. Now what exactly that sloka is as follows: Nityo nityanam chetanas chetananam eko bahunam yo vidadhati kaman tam atmastham ye anupashyanti dhiras tesam shanti saswati netaresam. So this is the verse, and then I explained the meaning just now. So what does it mean? So Nityo Nityanam. Nityo is referring to the soul. Nityanam, that means amongst all those souls, there is one who is the supreme. Chetanas Chetananam. So there is one consciousness that we all individually have. And Chetananam, then there are so many consciousness that each and every individuals that they have in terms of all so many living entities. Eko Bahunam. So the minute living entity is great in number. Eko is the supreme one, is one in number. That means the supreme person is the singular person. And there are so many innumerable living entities. So Vidadhati Kaman, so it's basically referring to the difference in the difference in the consciousness and difference in the number. Now this also brings into this understanding that we know us. Actually speaking, we also don't know us much, but to say that okay, I at least I know myself to some extent. So I will know myself, you will know yourself, somebody will know themselves. So we don't know about you, I don't know about you much, somebody may not know about you much, or you may not know somebody completely. So our understanding about a person is limited. Our understanding about ourselves would be on a little higher side, but not about another person. So Krishna, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, has the complete understanding of all the Chetanas, all the living entities. That's what it means by Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam Eko Bahunam Yo Vidadhati Kaman. He knows everything that is happening within us and everybody else. So that way he is completely aware of each and everybody's situation. So one who knows this, that means one who can know within and without, one who knows this, he can be into the peaceful situation. That means anupasyati dhira. Dhira is referring to a person who is a sober person, who is calm, who is contained, who is knowledgeable. So he knows and then he is sober because he knows he is sober. And then he would retain in peace. So tesam shantihi saswati netaresam. So here another concept Krishna is bringing in is that I told about the Mayavad. So the principle of Mayavad is that everything is one. So when something is said that everything is one, that means you are one, I am one, God is one. So that means we all are one. And when somebody dies or when somebody gets liberated, they would merge into the Supreme Brahman, as people usually say. But this particular understanding is thoroughly refuted by Krishna's statement. So let us understand. So when somebody is thinking that I will merge into Brahman or I will merge into the nothingness, so first of all, that something can come from nothing is a misnomer, is not correct. It has to come from something. As they say, energy can only change forms. Energy can be transformed from one type of energy to another. So if you say something has come from nothing, that means energy came from nowhere. That's not possible. So the first thing is that something cannot come from nothing. There has to be something from which something can come. And when we talk about that we as individuals can get merged to the Brahman, that is also not possible. So that's why it is called Maya, or that is why it is called Mayavad. So Mayavad means one wants to annihilate one's existence by losing one's individuality, by merging into the Brahman space. So that's not what is Krishna is saying here. So if you understand, now let us dissect the statement that is made by Krishna here. Natvevaham jatunasam. So never there was a time when I did not exist. Okay. Nor you existed separately, nor these kings existed. So which basically means that he's talking about past. And he's also talking about present. And he's also talking about future. So he's talking about 3 time zones: past, present, and future. So he's saying what? I was an individual in the past. I am an individual in the present. I will continue to remain an individual in the future. You are an individual in the present. You were an individual in the past. You will continue to remain an individual in the future. All these kings and people, those who have assembled here to fight, they were independent individuals in the past. They are individuals in the present. They will continue to remain individuals in the future. Where is the question of merging? There is no question of merging. Right? So here Krishna is very explicitly, clearly mentioning that nothing merges with anything. The soul cannot merge with the Brahman, or the soul does not merge with the Brahman at the time of liberation. So which basically means that I am God, you are God, everybody is God. No, it's a complete misnomer. It's a absolute error. It's a mistake. It's a blunder. Nobody can become God. God does not become like us. God is always God, whether he's a 2-year-old boy or a grown-up person. He is always God. We, as an individual, we are always soul and always subordinate to God. So our individuality is never destroyed. Nobody's individuality is ever destroyed. So we as soul, so if soul can merge into Brahman, then the soul will lose its existence. So then the point of soul being eternal is going invalid. right? So if the soul has to remain active or has to live for the rest of the eternity irrespective of time and space, then the soul cannot merge or cannot merge and lose its existence at any point of time. So that basically means that soul is never going to get annihilated, soul is never going to merge into the Brahman, and soul is never going to lose its existence for anything for that matter, for any reason. So the soul is always going to be remaining an individual soul with its individual consciousness, with its individual free will, with its everything that is there with the soul. For from the time immemorial to the rest of the eternity, the soul is continued to remain as an individual soul. It is never going to merge into anyone, anywhere, Brahman or nothing. Okay. So the soul is not going to merge into anyone, and the soul can never become God also. So that's a profound point that is emphasized by Krishna in this place. So the thing that we understand that okay, I think it's getting little bigger, so we'll take the next part in the next video.